Today we celebrate this beautiful feast of the leader of the angelic host, the Archangel Michael. Origins of this feast come from at least the 5th century, when this great warrior angel has appeared many times throughout the ages doing battle on behalf of God's people. There's been a special devotion to St. Michael among the Irish. From earliest times, he is the weigher of souls. He collects the souls at the end, before the judgment, at the time of death. And he's always depicted on the Irish high crosses for this reason. One of the more famous occurrences was in 590, during the reign of Pope Gregory the Great in Rome. There was a great pestilence which had swept through the city, and Gregory was leading a procession and litany through the streets of Rome. And as he was going, St. Michael himself appeared to St. Gregory over Hadrian's tomb. And in honor of this appearance, and there was a deliverance from this deadly pestilence, Gregory named a mausoleum there, renamed it Castel San Angelo. And there is a statue to this day sitting on top there of St. Michael. He also appeared off the coast of Normandy in 708 to the Bishop Aubert, and that is Mont Saint Michael, and it was built to his honor. It's a very famous, beautiful pilgrimage site to this very day. St. Michael's reputation as a warrior for God's people, it goes way back into the Hebrews, of course, who called upon him for protection and deliverance many times. According to Jewish tradition, Michael fought with the princes of pagan nations on behalf of Israel again and again. It was Michael who rescued Abraham from the furnace into which he had been thrown by Nimrod. It was Michael who told Abraham that Lot had been taken captive. It was Michael who protected Sarah from being defiled by Abimelech. It is Michael who rescued Lot from the destruction of Sodom. It's said that St. Michael is the one who stayed Abraham's arm when he was about to sacrifice Isaac, according to Jewish tradition. And also Michael who prevented Laban from harming Jacob. St. Michael protected Israel at the time of the Exodus. He took them through the Red Sea. He destroyed the Egyptian army, and he escorted them through the wilderness. All of this the Jews believed and attributed to the great St. Michael. We read in Daniel that it is, quote, Michael, the great prince who protects your people and will arise. All the nations have had an appointed angel to watch over them, and St. Michael was the guide and guardian, first of Israel and now of the church. According to the book of Daniel, it's St. Michael, he who is like God, who threw Lucifer out of heaven. And it will be St. Michael in the end who will deliver that final blow to the Antichrist. In the book of Jude, we read how St. Michael contended with Satan for the body of Moses. And in the book of Revelation, John's Apocalypse, chapter 12, we read of that great primordial conflict among the angels. Quote, there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. In this passage from the Apocalypse, we read of St. Michael the Archangel, who stands at the head of the angelic band. It says, Michael and his angels. Michael and his angels defeated the angels of the rebellion, cast them to earth. We still, all of us, we still rely upon St. Michael for protection against the wiles of the devil, who roams about seeking whom he may devour. As St. Paul says, our struggle is not against flesh and blood. Our struggle, our battle, the war we wage is against principalities and powers of the air. Now Christ is risen, and we do not fear. And yet St. Paul warns that we would be foolish to ignore the devil's schemes against us. There's still a battle going on, and the angels of heaven, and especially St. Michael and his band of angels, the heavenly host, offer protection and aid and ministry to us, God's children. Not only do the angels minister to us in this life, the scriptures also teach that the angels carry us to God at the time of our death. Also in our baptismal rites, we read much about the angels and how they stand before our accuser and they defend us. At our funeral rites, we ask them for safe passage and journey for the departed soul to that country of paradise. In our gospel lesson this morning, Jesus takes a little child, a humble, weak, and I think most important, utterly dependent little child, and he sits him on his lap. And he says there to his apostles, these men who will be great men, these men who he says will sit on thrones, he sets a little child on the throne of his lap, and he says, look to this child. If you will become great, you will become like this child. Humble yourselves. And I think the primary message here in being like this child is one of utter dependence and desire. He also highlights throughout the scriptures, both the Hebrew scriptures and the New Testament, he came for the poor. He cares for the poor and the oppressed, those who are sick, those who are in need. Blessed are the poor. He's always accentuating those who are in a position of need and desperation and utter dependence. It is hard for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven. Why? Because he thinks he can make it on his own. I mean, this is the original sin. This is the essence of all of our sin, going back to the garden, that we are independent of God, autonomous. We can do it ourselves. So when he points to the child, this is what I think he's most accentuating. A child's dependence, utter dependence. At some point, there developed some association between children and cute, chubby little angels, flittering about with their little wings and their rolls of fat, so cute, chubby little angels. Well, we all know that is not at all what Christ is teaching us in our gospel this morning. To the contrary, he warns them in this passage that anyone who might despise or cause to stumble or cause harm to a child is in grave danger, because their angel stands before the face of God in heaven. And he's not talking here about a chubby little baby angel. He's talking about a great and powerful warrior angel. The point, in fact, that Christ is making is to juxtapose between this weak and dependent, needy, trusting child and the towering, powerful destroyer of evil. He is showing us that for us to partake in this great victory over evil, we must become like the little child, the humble child, the utterly dependent child upon God, recognizing that without him, we can do nothing. Today, we honor this great warrior archangel and celebrate his mighty defeat of Satan. And if we want Saint Michael to be our friend and our defender, we must become like a child, seated on the lap of Christ. This is how we make his victory and Christ's victory our own. This is how we entice the angels to be our friends and to fight for us, to bring us to Christ through all the dangers and snares of this world. That's the right side up of the kingdom. We know we have to, in order to live, we must die. In order to attain, we must give away. Well, in order to slay the dragon, to be strong and victorious, we must become like a little child on the lap of Christ. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.